maybe we can start with why, from your perspective, you went into the field of PHPM.
Okay, what a big question. So I am lucky enough to have done a master's in community health and epidemiology at Dalhousie before I started medical school. And even with all of that knowledge, I didn't know anything about public health, physicians, or that being a career choice for people. So when I started medical school, I was introduced to Dr. Gaynor Watson-Creed, who is now the Deputy Medical Officer of Health for Nova Scotia. And she gave us a lecture on public health. It was like a public health 101 lecture. And as she was going through like what public health is and what a career in public health looks like, it really resonated with me very early in medical school. So
I think since when I was a little kid, I've always been interested in what makes people healthy and what makes people sick. And my mother worked for CEDA, the Canadian International Development Agency, and she used to bring home the Human Development Index. And I always got thinking about, and that was at the point where Canada was ranked #1 in the world on the Human Development Index. And what was it about Canada that allowed us to be #1 and live such long and healthy lives compared to the rest of the world?
I hope other trainees can take solace in the fact that I still don't know what I want to do with my career, being so close to the end of residency. Certainly it's something you want to try and decide as you go through residency. Like when you finish medical school, you might not know exactly what a public health physician does. But in residency, you learn just the diversity of jobs that are available in public health. So you can work as a local public health physician in a health unit. You can work for the province and offer technical advice to the government, or you could work for the federal government and be advising the Minister of Health or the Prime Minister during a COVID pandemic. So like the breadth of what you can do as a public health doctor is so wide, which has made it very difficult to decide what to do career-wise.
How did I go into PHPM? For me, I actually spent a lot of time trying to decide if I wanted to do clinical medicine or public health. And what I found was really important to me was that I was making people's lives better, and that I was advocating for the people in our community. And I recognized that I tend to see things on a system level. I tend to see things in a more overarching way. And to me, it would never be enough to be only helping the one person in front of me.
And I think those questions that I asked as a child really led and fed into my passion for the social determinants of health. And I think to this day and throughout my training as a medical student, I was always interested in, so yes, this child broke their arm, but why did they break their arm? Well, they broke their arm because they're unsupervised. And why did they break their arm because they're unsupervised? Well, mom holds 2 jobs. And why does mom hold 2 jobs? Well, she doesn't have a great education and the only jobs she can get are at minimum wage and she doesn't earn a living salary. And why does she do that? Well, it goes back to her own childhood experiences and the fact that she did not have the optimal educational opportunities. And why, and so as you went more and more upstream, to me, that's where the medicine became really interesting. And so that's how I knew public health was the right fit for me.